In this video, we will debunk the multiple toxic falsehoods packed into a single speech by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे, घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे। क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा?
Mandate 2024. Claim versus reality with Srinivasan Jain.
The speech delivered in Rajasthan this past weekend is not just a turning point for this election, but a watershed moment for Mr. Modi's own political trajectory. Over the course of a decade as Prime Minister, he has attempted to put distance from the openly divisive, rabble-rousing legacy associated with his tenure as Chief Minister of Gujarat, when, for instance, he described refugee camps housing Muslims as baby-producing centers. Instead, as Prime Minister, he has worked hard to craft an image in India and abroad of a visionary statesman.
भारत मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी है और भारत मॉडल ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी भी है.
That mask has frequently slipped. The PM, in clear defiance of India's secular charter, has openly embraced a Hindu-first approach, be it in actions like playing head priest at the opening of the Ram Mandir, or in policy through the passage by his government of discriminatory laws like the Citizenship Amendment Act. When it comes to hateful speech, though, while naked bigotry by his party colleagues has spiked under Mr. Modi's watch,
उग्रवादी बोलने नहीं दूंगा कभी खड़ा होगा, ये बता रहा हूं, उग्रवादी.
the Prime Minister has chosen to play the communal card more obliquely.
भाइयों बहनों, गांव में अगर कब्रिस्तान बनता है तो गांव में स्मशान भी बनना चाहिए.
All that changed this past weekend with the Prime Minister directly targeting Muslims. It was his most communal speech in decades, an unprecedented attack that he built up to by distorting comments and promises made by his main rival, the Congress Party.
कांग्रेस ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में जो कहा है वो चिंताजनक है, गंभीर है. हमारे आदिवासी परिवारों में चांदी होती है, सिल्वर कितना है उसका हिसाब लगाया जाएगा. ये जो गोल्ड है बहनों का और जो संपत्ति है ये सबको समान रूप से वितरित कर दी जाएगी. उसका मंगलसूत्र वो एक सोने का कीमत का मुद्दा नहीं है, उसके जीवन के सपनों से जुड़ा हुआ है. तुम उसे छीनने की बात कर रहे हो अपने मैनिफेस्टो में. और पहले जब उनकी सरकार थी उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है. इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे, घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे. क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा?
It's important to underscore why what you just heard is not just deplorable but also false. All the more because despite the mounting backlash, the BJP and its ecosystem have doubled down, attempting to defend the claims made by Mr. Modi through a flood of disinformation. Much of the mainstream media, instead of calling out the untruths in the PM speech, has chosen to play along. So let's cut through the noise and unpack each of the untruths in the PM speech one by one. Starting with Mr. Modi's claim that the Congress manifesto promises to survey and redistribute the gold and silver of Hindu women and tribals to Muslims.
भाइयों बहनों, ये अर्बन नक्सल की सोच, मेरी माताओं बहनों, ये आपका मंगलसूत्र भी बचने नहीं देंगे.
The Congress manifesto says no such thing. The only reference to a survey is the reiteration of the party's promise to conduct a socio-economic and caste census to enumerate the castes and subcastes and their socio-economic conditions. Based on the data, we'll strengthen the agenda for affirmative action, says the document. Zero references to gold, silver, or property. On minorities, it says the party will ensure that minorities receive their fair share of opportunities in education, healthcare, public employment, and so on, without discrimination. How does the Prime Minister segue from his bizarre claims on the Congress manifesto to his assertion that gold and silver will be forcibly handed over to Muslims? By going back nearly 2 decades, cherry-picking a line from a speech made by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in 2006, in which Dr. Singh spoke of the need for Muslims to have first claim on resources. As has been pointed out at the time, and repeatedly since then, Dr. Singh's comments were made in the context of empowering historically underprivileged social groups, including SCs and STs. This is what Dr. Singh said.
I believe our collective priorities are clear. Agriculture, irrigation and water resources, health, education, critical investment in rural infrastructure, and the essential public investment needs of general infrastructure, along with programs for the uplift of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, minorities, and women and children. The component plans for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes will need to be revitalized. We will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities, particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must have the first claim on our resources.
After conjuring up non-existent conspiracies about the coercive distribution of gold and silver, the Prime Minister has branded Muslims as producing more children and as infiltrators.
इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे.
Taking each claim one by one, government data tells us that while the fertility rate and growth rate of Muslims is higher than other social groups, it's been falling steadily. Population growth, as researchers have pointed out, is not linked to religion, but to economics. Hindu women in poorer states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh have higher fertility rates than Muslim women in Tamil Nadu and Andhra. For a PM to tarnish a community of an estimated 200 million Muslims as infiltrators is appalling in itself. Worse, when Mr. Modi's own government was asked for proof of illegal infiltration into India, they have again and again told Parliament they do not know. The same non-answer repeated at least 16 times since 2014, according to one count. Now, all of this information is easily available in the public domain. The above data on Muslim demographics and parliamentary answers on infiltration, for instance, is from a book that I co-authored with two other journalists that came out 3 months ago. To establish that the Prime Minister was stoking hateful falsehoods during the campaign, punishable under India's election laws, ought not to be a challenge. Whether the Election Commission chooses to act, however, is altogether unclear. In BJP and right-wing circles, a scramble has broken out to produce evidence to back the Prime Minister's claims. Doing the rounds, a selectively edited speech made by Rahul Gandhi as proof that the Congress promised to redistribute wealth to Muslims. In reality, the Gandhi speech being circulated does not single out Muslims for special treatment. He says his party will conduct a caste census followed by a financial survey to ensure an equal share to all socially disadvantaged groups. Here's the clip in full.
किसी को चोट लगती है तो पहला काम डॉक्टर कहता है एक्सरे कराओ. एक्सरे से सच्चाई दिख जाती है. एक्सरे के बाद डॉक्टर सही निर्णय ले सकता है. इसीलिए हमने वायदा किया है कि जैसे ही हमारी सरकार आएगी, जो हमने तेलंगाना में किया, जाति जनगणना को हम पूरे देश में इंप्लीमेंट कर देंगे. देश का एक्सरे कर देंगे. दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. पिछड़े वर्ग को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, गरीब जनरल कास्ट के लोगों को, माइनॉरिटीज को पता लग जाएगा कि इस देश में उनकी भागीदारी कितनी है. इसके बाद हम फाइनेंशियल और इंस्टीट्यूशनल सर्वे करेंगे. ये पता लगाएंगे हिंदू किसके हाथों में है, कौन से वर्ग के हाथ में है. और इस ऐतिहासिक कदम के बाद हम क्रांतिकारी काम शुरू करेंगे. जो आपका हक बनता है वो हम आपके लिए आपको देने का काम करेंगे. चाहे वो मीडिया हो, ब्यूरोक्रेसी हो, हिंदुस्तान की सब संस्थाएं हो, वहां हम आपकी जगह बनाकर आपको हिस्सेदारी देंगे.
Gandhi's language is vague. It's not clear whether his plan involves greater job equality or also the redistribution of wealth, and how he proposes to implement either. Subsequent comments made by him and his party associates have deepened the confusion. There are ample grounds to question him and the Congress on the specifics, while holding the Prime Minister to account for his bigoted fictions. However, thanks to the BJP's dominance over the public narrative, aided by a compliant media, that's not what we're witnessing. The uproar over the Congress's purported plans for wealth redistribution has almost totally eclipsed how an Indian Prime Minister deliberately twisted the facts to spread alarm amongst the majority and demonize a minority. The Prime Minister, meanwhile, is not just doubling down, but in sticking to his playbook, is playing victim.
2-3 दिन पहले मैंने कांग्रेस की इस वोट बैंक की राजनीति, तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति का पर्दाफाश किया था। इससे कांग्रेस और उसको सिस्टम में उनको इतनी मिर्ची लगी है कि वो हर तरफ गालियां देने में टूट पड़े। जो आए वो मोदी को गाली दे रहा है।
Dear Prime Minister, you're not the victim here. Your corrosive untruths, and by all accounts more are on their way, will likely worsen the volcano of prejudice that Indian Muslims have experienced in the past decade, cause further damage to India's famed diversity, and cast a near-permanent stain on your legacy.
This election season, your right to choose puts you at the heart of it again.
We'd like to be your eyes and ears.
Choose the journalism and media that serves democracy and you.
Simply log on to newslaundry.com/2024 election fund and choose an amount of your choice for the reports of your choice.